What up, YouTube? Here with a post-fight video of the Devin Haney versus Vasiliy Lomachenko fight for the Undisputed lightweight title. Now, before I give y'all the summary of what happened in the fight, I'm going to tell y'all the results first. Devin Haney was able to retain his Undisputed lightweight titles via unanimous decision. I personally had the fight score 115 to 113 in favor of Devin Haney, and that's how the official judges had this fight scored as well. Two of the judges had it scored the same way how I had it scored, and that was 115 to 113, as I had said previously. And then the one other judge had a score 116 to 112 in favor of Devin Haney. Anyways, to sum up what happened in the fight, this was a very close, very competitive, very back and forth fight, and I did predict for Devin Haney to win via unanimous decision. It was more closer than how I had thought that the fight would have been. Devin Haney peaked in the earlier rounds, and that was expected because Vasiliy Lomachenko has a reputation of being a slow starter to get in his rhythm, to get his momentum going. However, in this fight, it was rapid fire from the start. It was good action from the start, and Devin Haney, where he peaked at, was him sticking out the jab and him catching Lomachenko coming in with the lead counter check hook as well as the uppercut. And Devin Haney was very successful and very good at picking off the body of Vasiliy Lomachenko. And Lomachenko, where he peaked at, was when he would have Devin Haney trapped at certain spots in the ring and close that distance with Devin Haney and him, and getting on a closer range to where he could get to work and let his offense go. And Lomachenko, he did a better job at putting his punches together, his combos that he put together, and Devin Haney did a better job at timing and catching Lomachenko. However, towards the championship rounds, near the end of the fight, was when Vasiliy Lomachenko turned up the offense and Devin Haney started to show signs of fatigue, as the thud in his power shots didn't have the same impact as it did in the earlier rounds. And Vasiliy Lomachenko, with his ring IQ, was able to read the signs of Devin Haney wearing off and his durability and his stamina getting lower than it was then at the start of the fight, and he was less fresher. And then that's when Lomachenko started to take advantage, and Vasiliy Lomachenko's best rounds were the 10th and the 11th round. The final round, the 12th round, I had it scored in favor of Devin Haney. It was a close, competitive round, as much of the rounds in the whole fight was. Other than the 10th and 11th round, those were clear rounds that Lomachenko had a clear victory in those rounds at. And Devin Haney, however, in the 12th round, that's when he turned it up, and that's when it was more competitive than the two previous rounds. And I guess Devin Haney, because of how much of a wide margin and how uncompetitive the 10th and 11th round was, he had to turn it up in the 12th round and make it more competitive and make it more of a compelling bout to make sure he had that fight won in the bag. Because the way how the fight was being fought at all the previous rounds before the championship rounds was in the air. It was questionable because of the back and forthness. And I thought Devin Haney, y'all could look at the punch stat numbers. Vasiliy Lomachenko was the more active, the more busier fighter. He threw more and landed more shots. However, the connect percentile was in favor of Devin Haney. I get it though. People is going to say, oh, it's because he threw lesser punches. That's why he's going to be able to connect more shots when it comes to the connect percentage. I get that part. However, the effective work, I thought Devin Haney had more of that part in his favor. And I think a lot of people are more giving their attention to the wide margin leap rounds that Vasiliy Lomachenko had won, and forgetting about the prior rounds and the works thereof in the previous rounds before the 10th and 11th round. And Devin Haney, this was a hard-fought win, hard-fought victory for the undisputed lightweight champion. And I wouldn't mind seeing an immediate rematch because of how close and how competitive this fight was, with the undisputed lightweight champion still, Devin Haney, and Vasiliy Lomachenko, who in his last fight versus Jermaine Ortiz, he didn't look like the same Vasiliy Lomachenko that boxing fans have got to know him as. And that could have been because of ring rust and him being older now, and that comes with aging. And Vasiliy Lomachenko didn't show any ring rust or any signs of age in this fight. And that's why I think he's still a primitive fighter that fights at a high caliber level amongst the lightweights, and the lightweight division has got some of the best talent and the most notable talent in the sport of boxing right now. And I'm sure everyone that had witnessed this fight would like to see an immediate rematch with Devin Haney and Vasiliy Lomachenko, because I'm seeing many people say that Vasiliy Lomachenko should have got the victory, and as well as a lot of people saying that Devin Haney won the fight as he should have, and which he did. And Devin Haney did talk about after the fight, during the post-fight interview, that he's fought at lightweight throughout his whole professional career, and the way his body is set up, he has trouble making weight at 135, and he fits a frame of 140 at super lightweight more than he does at lightweight. And he had trouble making weight at the weigh-ins, and that goes to show during his training camps in anticipation to his fights where he defends his undisputed lightweight titles, he has to drain a lot of weight in order for him to make the weight limit of 135 at lightweight. And he did say on social media and other boxing media platforms that he would be staying at lightweight to have that mega fight set up versus Shakur Stevenson, who's another top 10 ranked pound for pound fighters in the world, and former super featherweight champion, undefeated as well, immaculate talent that fights at the top level of the lightweights. And I put him up there because of his in-ring ability. And it's the fact that people can argue that, oh, Shakur Stevenson just recently made his debut at lightweight and he hasn't fought any top-level fighters at lightweight for him to establish himself as amongst the top of the lightweights. However, as I said, his in-ring ability makes him of that high-level fighter that he is. His technical abilities, there ain't a educated boxing fan out there that could take that away from him. And I would like to see that fight happen. However, I think Vasiliy Lomachenko, after this performance and how close and competitive this fight was, I think he deserves an immediate rematch to challenge yet again for the undisputed lightweight title. If George Gambosis got to have another shot at the undisputed lightweight title versus Devin Haney, and that wasn't nowhere as close as this fight, then Vasiliy Lomachenko definitely is deserving of another shot at the undisputed lightweight titles. Now, I don't know about the contractual situation when it comes to the terms of this fight. I don't know if there was any rematches clause, and if there isn't a rematch clause when it came to the contractual agreements in this fight with Devin Haney and Vasiliy Lomachenko, then I think as a fighting top champion at lightweight, Devin Haney, because of how close this fight was, and to, I don't want to say, well, it is a sport of boxing, to prove his status as the undisputed lightweight champion, I think for the sport's sake and for his legacy and for his career's sake, that he should be willing to give that immediate rematch versus Vasiliy Lomachenko for that undisputed lightweight title. Now, if Devin Haney decides to move up to super lightweight, I don't know if he wants to relinquish and vacate his undisputed lightweight titles, then there wouldn't be, I know it's disappointing, but as I said, if he decides to move up to super lightweight, then there would be, I guess, a respectable excuse as to why an immediate rematch or any rematch versus Vasiliy Lomachenko doesn't happen. And I'm sure a lot of boxing fans would like to see another fight with Devin Haney and Vasiliy Lomachenko. And if not, then there's that super fight with Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Davis, who are top contenders at lightweight, and that could call for a great challenge for Devin Haney to put up his undisputed lightweight titles against. And as for Vasiliy Lomachenko, he's still a high-level fighter when it comes to the lightweight division, and he could have great fights with other top-level fighters at lightweight. If not, then he could go back to super featherweight or featherweight, and that weight of the featherweights and super featherweights fits his frame better anyways, because he is a smaller stature guy that competes at lightweight. And y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are from this fight that y'all saw with Devin Haney and Vasiliy Lomachenko. What's y'all opinions? How'd y'all have it scored? What would y'all like to see in the future for both these fighters? Comment, subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. And that does it for this video, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.